ahead and record this class. Right. So we see flammable, right, and we see corrosive. We see all these different signs. Corrosive, I think, would be this one, particular one. It's not fully clear, right, but we get it, and we see corrosive here again. Right. This one is also corrosive. This one is not fully clear either, but we know this one, of course, is flammable, right? Flammable,
Yes,
right?
sir.
All right. So we can move on, right? Are we seeing any more here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what are we seeing here? What are we seeing on this bottle here?
Sir, corrosive.
Right,
Corrosive,
so
sir.
we can see corrosive here, right? Of course, the reason why it's corrosive, right? This right here, um, pH, right? The pH is you will learn more about this if you continue in science, but you want to pay attention to the pH, right? The pH it's neutral at 7. The pH is neutral at 7. So water has a pH of 8, 7 thereabout, right? But when a liquid becomes either it becomes 13, right? A pH of 13 plus over 13, right? That is hazardous. Or if the liquid is say a pH of 1, right? But it has to be in the middle. It has to be in the middle, right? You don't need to focus on that. That's just for information purposes. So that is the reason why it is actually corrosive, because the pH is not close to 7, right? The pH for water is close to 7 or 7. And you can do more research on that, but I just wanted to just highlight that, right? And we see any here? We see any,
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
right?
Sir,
So
right
Flammable.
here.
we're seeing flammable right here, right? Flammable, not this person. We're seeing flammable right here, right? And this is of course our alcohol, right? Alcohol, of course, is flammable, and you don't want it to catch in your eyes or anything like that, right? All
Yes,
right, so we
sir.
can move on. Are we good so far?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So our hazard, right? A hazard is an unavoidable danger or risk, right? It one if we are in an area, right, which is hazardous, right, or if we touch something that is hazardous, it will cause some damage, right? So we have to ensure that we pay attention, right? To pay keen attention, because if our hazard is in place, we have no control over it. So if we suppose some of the alcohol is spilled and we have fire close by, right? It is unavoidable that the fire will happen, right? The fire will happen. We can't avoid it, right? But we can stop it from spilling. That's the only thing we can actually control. So we have to be extra careful when dealing with hazards and material that cause hazards, right? So there are many
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
safety hazards in a scientific laboratory, right? And we call that, of course, a lab. So including many types of chemicals, right? That's the most hazardous thing mostly are the chemicals, right, in the lab, right? We have acids in the lab and so forth. So these can cause risk, right? These can cause risk. So there are internationally recognized symbols, right, across the entire world, right? So these symbols are specifically for lab safety. Now, if we are in a lab and we see the symbol here, let's try and draw it, right? We
Sir,
see the
can I
symbol.
draw it?
Go ahead. I didn't hear that. All right, I'm not hearing.
She
Another
said that
question?
if she could
Sir,
drive.
can I join?
Oh, all right, go ahead quickly. More about mine. I can go ahead quickly and try and drive.
Yes, sir. No, what am I doing? Zooming one.
All right, so that is looking a little better than mine, right? I'm a little jealous. All right, this looks better than mine, right? So if we go anywhere in the world, right? Anywhere we could go to Germany or we could go to Spain, right? And we see this sign here. We see this sign, we know for a fact that is a fire hazard. So that's basically what we're trying to say here, right? Anywhere in the world that we go, we know that when we see that sign, a particular sign, we know that for sure that it's a fire hazard. All right, so we can move on now, right? Thank you so much. I'm not sure of your full name, right? Mochi,
Sir, Saisha, sir.
Sandra,
Saisha.
or Aisha,
Saisha.
or Saisha, right? Miss Anderson, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we can move on then. Right, so some hazards are some safety symbols we'll show them right below. All right, we'll show them in a couple slides, but these are just some. Remember this? We spoke about this, right? From your activity in class. So we spoke about toxic, right? We saw toxic, and we come across corrosive, right? So
Yes, sir.
toxic means that it is poisonous, right? It's poisonous, and the fact that it's oxidizing
Yes,
um,
sir.
provide oxygen so that substances can burn or react in other ways, right? So oxidizing mean, let's say we have a material here and we have to close it. We have to keep that material closed, right? Because if we expose that material to oxygen, it will start to burn, right? It will start to create fire around it, right? Or it will start to react in ways and splash up about the place, right? And cause damage to other persons. So we want to keep this guy enclosed, right? Away from oxygen, right? That's what oxidizing means. So corrosiveness means that it will destroy substances by wearing them away while chemically reacting with them, right? So we have, say, a material here, and we have a corrosive bottle of liquid, right? A bottle of liquid here. All right, not the best bottle in the world, but you get the point. Let's go back for a second. Right, so we have this bottle of oven cleaner. So it is Formula 50 oven cleaner, right? So we have this bottle, and as we see here, it is corrosive, right? Corrosive. So
Uh,
if
Yes,
this
sir.
drips, are you a question?
no, sir.
Right, right, all right, no question. So yeah, we were saying that if this bottle of this is our dry cleaner or oven cleaner, sorry, this is our oven cleaner, and we somehow manage to allow it to fall on the table, right, it will decompose our table and it will cause our table to wear away because of the chemical reaction. So if it falls in this area right here, if this falls in this area, right, it will cause it to wear away, and eventually there will be a hole, right, because it will continuously react with the table. So we want to keep these items closed and want to keep these items safe from our hands, because if this catches our hands, right, if this catches our hands, that's a problem, right? If it catches our hands, a problem. So we have to ensure, right, that we keep these hazards safe and um, away from hands or any surfaces that could affect. So where are some other places you could see these signs? Like you say in your home, right? What else is very
Yes,
reactive in
sir,
your
on a
home?
bleach bottle.
Right. That's the first
Sir,
thing
at the
that will
gas
come.
station.
Gas station. Sorry, bleach. I'm sorry. Bleach and the gas station. Right. I'm looking for one more. Any more?
Alcohol bottle.
Right. Alcohol bottle.
Sir, the stove, sir, with the gas tank.
Right. The
Gas
gas tank.
tank.
Right. Gas tank. So we see some coming out. Right. So we are scientists now. We are officially scientists because we know the importance of staying safe. Right. We are official scientists. We can call ourselves scientists now. All right. So since we did so much, I think I can find one more. Right.
Sir, what about gas?
Gas oil.
Insect spray?
Yes,
Gas oil, right, at the gas station, right? Insect spray, I heard that one. So insect spray would be flammable, right? So these are some things that we should look out,
Miss
right?
Sir, the cologne.
Right, the cologne is
Sir, an
also
insect
flammable.
powder.
Insect powder, you don't really want to allow that to ingest that in your body, right?
sir,
So
acid.
and acids. If there are any acids in our home, we want to keep those safe. All right, so let's just move to this picture now. Right, we can identify some of the hazards in this picture. So we can do that, right? Let's see if we see any. So our DJ made a note of this person here, right? This person is what? What is this here? This means that it's toxic, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
and this person has a straw. Why you have a straw? You're drinking toxic material. So thank you, DJ. Any
Sir,
more?
and the thing that there is some acid on the floor, sir, or some type of thing.
Right. So there's something slip away, right? Something spilled on the floor. So that is a hazard. And DJ also
Sir, the boy with the chemical over the fire.
right. The boy with the chemical over the fire, we have to ensure, right, that um
the girls not paying attention and her hair is catching on fire.
right. So this person has this thing over the fire, right? Anything else?
So the girl that is talking while doing something.
Right. This person here, her name is Lindsay. So while they're doing the experiment, she's over here talking off her mouth and not paying attention to what is happening. All right, she's not paying attention to what is happening. Anything else? All right.
Someone let out the snake.
Right. So the snake is out, and nobody seems to care that the snake is out. Everybody is doing their own thing. This person is drinking poison. This person is
Sir, the
doing
food.
experiment.
Sir, and there's also a broken glass on the ground.
Right, and nobody seems to pay attention. Nobody seems to
Sir,
care.
the scissors in the plug hole.
Right, this can definitely cause a what?
Fire.
This can definitely cause a fire. Right, so we'll go ahead now and I'm looking. I see one more. Right, I see one more.
There's a snake.
What about, right, we spoke
Sir,
about
there's
before.
in the water.
Go again?
There's an electric wire in this
wire.
water.
Right. This is also a fire hazard, right? Fire hazard. And what about this guy, Evan here? What is Evan doing?
Yes.
Sir, he left the water on.
On.
He left the water on, and what is he doing?
Drinking.
Drinking water.
Drinking in the lab, right? So we can come up with some safety signs now. Right? No, we can come up with some safety rules. Let's remember what safety rules that we spoke about last class,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So
Yes,
for
sir.
Evan, what would you say? What
Yes,
would you
sir.
say? What would you say to Evan?
No drinking and eating in the lab.
No drinking and eating in the lab, right? And look at Freddy. What does Freddy look like he's doing?
In the lab.
Drinking.
What does Freddy? Look at Freddy.
You are in the lab,
Right.
In the lab. Sir, he has food in the lab.
All right. One at a time. I think these two will take some.
Oh, and sir, Lindsay has wrong here.
Lindsay.
Has
Right.
wrong here.
It's close to what?
The fire.
Right. It's close to the fire. So she should really monitor this while she's talking. Right? She's not paying attention, so
Yes,
she's
sir.
doing some form of horse play. Right? Horse play. We call it horse play. She's talking and not paying attention.
True.
sir.
I heard another question from
Yes,
Something behind the girl.
something behind the girl. Where is that? Right. There is some I believe right, that's not, right. I see Akila's hand is up.
Sir.
I rule the laboratory, sir. Once you are doing an experiment, sir, you should always stay focused.
Right. So she must always stay focused because she don't want any fire to get her here. Right. All right. So we are good. Right, remember what happened last
Sir.
week? I think somebody says that they had Jervina.
Sir.
Oh, Dijon has her hand up. Okay. Go ahead.
Sir, I realize that Freddy doesn't have on no shoes.
Right. That's good. So Freddy don't have any shoes and he's playing like he's playing, right?
Sir, honey.
Laughing.
Yes,
Sir, and
sir.
he's stepping on a substance.
I heard a question. I heard somebody say something again.
Sir, he could have
Stepping on
stepped on the
something.
glass.
Right. So he could step on the glass. Right. So that's good. That's good. DJ, you saying something else?
Sir, the boy with the chemical over the fire, the candle.
Right. Over the fire here. Right. He should really pay attention to the fire. Right. You realize he's not even paying attention to the experiment, right? And Sierra also.
Sir, because he's singing.
Yeah. I didn't even see that. So there are some experiments that require you to put over the fire to get it heated, but he's not paying attention. He's singing here,
Sir, and he doesn't have on any gloves.
and he doesn't even have on any gloves, right? So we are scientists now. You see that we are no scientists. All right. So we'll move on now, and we'll try and identify these safety symbols, right? And I think we can end the class here for today. So let's identify. After we identify,
Sir.
so this is flammable.
Start, sir.
Flammable. We know this one.
Caution.
Yeah, close.
Oh, that's it.
Radiation. Sir, radiation.
Right,
Radioactive. Sir, radioactive.
This is
Sir,
radioactive,
radioactive.
right? And this is what? Toxic, right?
Toxic.
Yes, sir.
And what is this one?
Heated surface.
Right,
Yes,
hot
sir.
surface,
Heated.
right? And this is
Corrosive.
Hello,
Corrosive.
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 Right, corrosive, and this is
Sir,
Biohazard.
right. This is a biohazard. So let's go back over them again. This is flammable. They you don't have to worry about writing in notes like in your books or so. Right, these are on the next page. All right, so this is our flammable. This is radioactive, right? And we said this is a hot surface.
Yes, sir.
This is toxic.
Yep.
Right? This is toxic. This is a biohazard. And this is corrosive, right? So we're moving on to the next page now. All right, so you can remove the annotations now. We're going on to the next page. All right.
yes, sir.
All right, so we have them here now, right? So we spoke about flammable, right? We see the difference between flammable and oxidizing. There's a small difference. We won't get into
The
that.
circle in the middle.
Right,
Yes,
the
a circle in the
circle
middle.
in the middle, and this looks like it's decomposed a lot more, right? So this has a circle, and this like it's decomposed even more. So this circle here means that it is oxidizing all around the material, while the flammable means that it is burning throughout the material. The material is burning, right? That's a little small detail, right? This is of course an explosion, right? It's a hot surface.
Yes, sir.
This is toxic, as we said before, and we see this one popping up so many times that we have to be really careful in our labs and in our homes when dealing with this guy, right? We don't want it's very corrosive. This is an irritant. This is high voltage, high temperature, and this is low temperature. This is laser radiation, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is radiation, and this is a biohazard. So you see the biohazard popping up, right? In different laboratories, right? Saisha, please pay attention. Thank you. Radiation, you will see this also in many different labs, right? For example, when you're doing chemistry and
Yes,
physics,
sir.
lower temperatures, right? You'll see this when at most, sometimes even at hospitals, when we are storing oxygen and so forth, other air, laser radiation, right? When we deal with X-ray machines or so forth, any machine that has to do with radiation. High voltage, you see this popping up like if you go at a power plant at JPS, right? JPS, you'll also see this at a plant at JPS. Irritant, corrosive, toxic, right? So you see this popping up,
And explosion.
right? Explosion and so forth. Right, so as I said, these notes will be made available when we're finished the entire slide. Let me check something for a second. Right, so we're basically finished. Yeah, we completed the last section. These will be posted. So next class, we will do an activity. All right, we'll do an activity. I'll just post the activity in the group, and you will be, or I'll post it in two classrooms.
Do you have any homework, sir?
Not today. You have the activity tomorrow. All right.
Sir, we don't have any notes either.
Yeah, I'll post the notes after the class, along with
Okay.
the recording of the class. All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
All right. So this was a good class. We finished. Right. Any questions before we go?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. All the best, everyone.
Same to you.
Yeah, we might have a short
to
class
you.
tomorrow, right? Just go over some of the if there's anything that we miss, or if you want me to revise anything, we can meet up again tomorrow.
Bye,
Alright, all the
sir.
best. Yeah.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
All right.
Bye, sir.
Ja, 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 ja.